And welcome to TCG News, presented to you today by Loveshack TCG. My name is Braden.
And I am Ben.
And today we're going to take you into the world of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, and everything else, as we bring you up to date with all the products and releases in TCG.
So let's get started.
That's right, on June 25th, we will see the release of the Pyroar Pokemon TCG Special Edition box. Pack retails at $12.99 MSRP, comes with 3 booster packs, including a booster pack of Flashfire, a limited edition Pyroar promo card, and foil versions of Blacksmith and Fiery Torch, 2 trainer cards introduced in the Flashfire set that are a must-have for any Fire deck.
That sounds very exciting. As well as with that, we have another Pokemon release, which is the Kalos Power Tins. With the Kalos Power Tins, we give 3, which is a Greninja, a Delphox, and a Chestnut. One of each has their own special EX that comes with the tin. We also get 4 packs. I believe how it is 3 X and Y packs, and then 1 black and white, which I assume will be Legendary Treasures. Also, it'll be $17.99 and available at your local retailer like Target, Walmart, and etc.
First time Greninja, Delphox, and Chestnut get their own EXs. And transitioning to first times, the release of Furious Fists in August. I believe August 11th is the day that pack comes out. Comes out alongside 2 theme decks, 1 Pangoro theme deck that's Dark Fighting, and a Sylveon theme deck that's Fairy Grass. The expansion includes 2 new Mega Pokemon, Mega Lucario EX and Mega... What was the other Mega?
Mega Hawlucha.
Yeah, that's right. So so there's 2 Megas in this set, both fantastically cool cards. In addition, some other EXs and some new trainers that'll be really cool must-see Pokemon. Plus, there's a possibility of some secret rares that the TCG hasn't seen yet, so as more information becomes available on this set, we will do our best to keep you updated.
We switch over to Yu-Gi-Oh! For the next release, we have the Realm of Light deck, which releases June 27th, contains all of the Lightsworn stuff, so you get stuff like Lila's, Lumina's, Raikou, Wolf, Garoth, Arceus. We have Judgment Dragon, of course. We have Charged Light Brigade for our spell cards. But for probably the most interesting trap card that is the most rumored to be released, comes with Breakthrough Skill, a very good card that is only reprinted otherwise in Battle Pack 2. So hopefully that will be very exciting. Comes with also like Necrogardna and a Charged Light Brigade. Great cards, fantastic. Starter deck went alongside with the Cyber Dragon one, so now we get this one. So, on to you.
It's true for those of you fans in the United Kingdom as well. Between July 5th and July 13th, your locals will be holding an event to win a Realm of Light rubber playmat. It's a full-on size mat. As far as I know, it's UK exclusive, but if more details become available regarding that, we'll do our best to update you. But if you live in the UK, get in touch with one of your local hobby shop owners and see if you can win yourself one of those mats. Now, transitioning, in just a couple of days, the OCG ban list becomes official, and wow, were there some interesting changes. Some of the more notable ones sees Rescue Rabbit, everyone's favorite little furry creature that made a very big impact in the meta for a while, returning to 3. While that decision may not be so questionable, Gravekeepers also get a great boost, with Royal Tribute returning to 3. I'm not sure I agree with that decision myself, but I'm just here to report the news, not judge it.
Not a very big fan of Royal Tribute, but you know what? It's for Japan only. It's OCG.
Yeah, I'm sorry to those of you in Japan who do have to suffer that.
Have to enjoy that, but they also get stuff like Trishula at 1.
That's true, they do have Trishula, and they've had Cyberstein for a while. They actually brought Cyberstein to 3 with this new list. It's done nothing. So.
Very exciting. Well, with stuff like Valor, Breakthrough Skill, which was mentioned before, Fiendish Chain, and other just stuff like that, it's just very hard to keep up with stuff like this.
Not necessarily saying I'm an advocate for Cyberstein being unbanned, but it's been unbanned in Japan for almost a year, and it hasn't done much of anything.
Come back. Come back, Cyberstein, and come back, Sinister Serpent, to me.
Yeah, Sinister, well, I don't know. I mean, it's his views, not mine. Also, some other interesting things to note. Needlebug Nest, a trap card that simply states send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard that have been seen play as a tech in Shadows, has been limited to 1 in Japan. While the card was really nothing more than a tech, it looks like they figured they'd take the safe than sorry route and make sure Shadows didn't have too many broken power plays.
Also, to be safe than sorry, they also reduced the artifact card. Do you remember which one it is off the top of your head? Moraltech. They reduced that to 1. So I guess they figured instead of hitting Sanctum, which was the more reasonable hit, they decided to hit that. So,
a few other things to mention. They did get Fire Formation Tenki back to 3, what the TCG has had for a while. Elemental Hero Bubbleman went to 2. Sacred Swords of the 7 Stars went to 3 as well. So it looks like in Japan it's going to be a Shadow / maybe Hands of some kind / I don't know, some kind of fire beast warrior.
You're going to see some type of dragon.
The meta's going to be very diverse over there. Dragon rulers definitely still have themselves at 2 and the babies at 1. So who knows what it's going to look like over there, but it's a drastically different format than it is here for sure. And speaking of different formats and changes in the game, I believe you did a scouting report for ARG Milwaukee.
Speaking of ARG Milwaukee, and speaking of dragon rulers as well, ARG Milwaukee, like I just said, first time for everything. I get pretty nervous. We have that event with, I will just name off the top 16 right now. Very exciting event. ARG is just for cash prizes, not like YCS. So you can't win like exclusive the prize cards and stuff. So with the top 16, we have, speaking of dragon rulers, 1 dragon ruler deck, 1 chain burn deck, which is pretty surprising. Not as surprising as 1 nurse burn deck.
Now, what is nurse burn?
It revolves around the nurse of the Reficule or whatever is from GX. Very good card. It changes. Her effect is any effect that would make someone gain life points, you would reduce life points. So, for instance, they run Upstart Goblin. They would take 1,000 and you would draw a card. Gift card, the trap card that makes you gain 3,000. Your opponent gain 3,000. They would lose 3,000. They also have the incorporated new common from Primal Origins, Try and Guess. So you try and guess what is in their extra deck, and if you are right, so say if you guess 101 Silent Honor Arc, and that is somehow manages to be in their extra deck, then they take 3,000. Then is it they gain or they...
The player who has the more of the declared target. So, for example, if you declare a fusion monster, both players would reveal their decks, and whoever has more fusion monsters would gain 3,000 life.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So, just stuff like that. Very good. Life Equalizer. The Chosen of the Reficule, is that what it's called?
Nurse Reficule the Form.
No, what's the trapped card?
Bad Reaction to Samochi.
That is a bad reaction to Samochi. Whew, I'm good at this.
It's a very interesting deck, though. It's been around for a long time, but it's never really had all the essential pieces, and because it's so combo-reliant, it's very easy to counter. Still, to see that one has a presence shows that...
There's still some life in it.
Definitely rogue decks.
The nurse brought it back to life. So, to continue on, we have 1 Bujin. Not too surprising there. 1 Hat, which Hat is hands, so like Ice Hand, Fire Hand, stuff like that. Artifacts, and Trap Tricks. That spells Hat. So, it's a very good deck, combos very well with one another. They pop, the Trap Tricks will come out, destroy their spells and traps, which your spells and traps are going to be artifacts, correct?
Yes, I mean, artifacts are majority of the spell and traps that the deck does play are artifacts. They also play some stuff like Breakthrough Skill, which has seen a very prominent rise because in addition to being very effective against the Hat deck, it's also very useful in the mirror match as well as other things. The deck combos very well and comes together. And it does do some things as well against Sylvan, which is the deck that saw 2 placings in this top 16. Sylvans did get some new stuff in Primal Origins, such as Sylvan Charity and other cards that have made them even better. Unfortunately, they seem to suffer from a lack of consistency in some regards, but they're still able to be explosive when they do. Speaking of a non-lack of consistency, 2 spellbook decks also placed in the top 16, and it seems like no matter what you do to hit spellbooks, they somehow keep on going. They lose card after card, but they keep coming back to the top.
Oh yes, there will always be a plethora of spellcasters, and there will always be just some kind of new spell card that will just enhance them and just make them just as good as they were before.
You could say their gears keep on grinding.
Speaking of gears,
what a segue.
To finish off the top 16, we have 7. That is right, 7 Geargia decks. 7.
6, sorry.
That is not 6, that is not 5, that is 7. That is insane. So hopefully, in the TCG list, we will see Geargia Arsenal go to 1 or 2. That's what I'm hoping. Geargia Armor at least go to 2. That's what I want, because that's like the main card. Geargia Accelerator should get hit. The card makes it very explosive.
And I think the best hit, and this is just a brief moment of personal opinion, would be to hit Geargia Gear. The trap that everyone overlooked for the longest time is actually one of the reasons the deck can make such explosive plays. Really, the deck only needs 1 hit. If you hit it more than too many times, more than once, it's really going to be dead. I think it's an interesting deck. I just think the OTK potential of it is a little bit too strong. So it remains to be seen because Japan really hasn't hit anything in it. So maybe the new format and everything being cycled in will change. Speaking of, though, we hit the top 4 with this.
The top 4, so that was the top 16. So on to the competition. We have the top 4, with the top 4 being 3 Geargia. The 3 Geargia players being Aaron Furman, Matt Kalenda, and Matt Savano. I apologize if I say your name wrong, because...
I believe it's Zach Savano.
Yes. And then 1 Sylvan player, which was Edward Lee.
So you would think with 3 Gear Gear decks and 1 Silver deck, Gear Gear is definitely one, right? I mean,
You might think that.
I'm just saying, it seems like the odds would certainly be in the favor of a Gear Gear.
But you, sir, would be wrong.
Really?
For the winner of the ARG Milwaukee event, we have Edward Lee for Sylvan decks.
And for those of you who briefly want to mention this as well, you can check the description below. We will post links to the top 4 deck lists from the ARG Milwaukee event, and I'd like to cover them in more detail sometime, but there is a lot to get to here, and we still have a few more points to touch on, but we will include links to the top 4 decks so that you can get your own idea of how to build them.
So if you'd like to see a video on us discussing these top 4 decks, just like and comment below to tell us, hey, make a video about these decks, because they are very interesting, and I'd actually like to be able to touch upon this more.
Definitely would like to be able to establish a source place, you know, for people who want to learn competitive styles and just get an idea of what different competitive decks are. You can go and check that out as well. So we got a few deck profile videos up. Hopefully be able to do a Gear Gear deck profile in the future, although if the new ban list that we get in July cripples the deck, it may be pointless. So we may hold off on that for a little while, but once more information comes out about that, we will definitely try to get that out there. And one other thing to mention that we didn't include in the notes, but I think might be worth it, is the Space-Time Showdown deck. Releases in a couple of weeks. Which
Is that with the new pendulums?
It will introduce pendulum monsters to the TCG, and it will come with new power-up packs, similar to the ones in the first starter deck that came out last year. However, this one, you're guaranteed to receive an ultra-rare Dark Hole and an ultra-rare Odd Eyes Dragon. Which,
So for those of you who don't feel like getting Turbo Pack 5 for Dark Hole, you can now get it.
there will be some additional foils scattered throughout these power-up packs as well, but they have not yet been revealed. Our channel will be including openings for this deck once it comes out, but hopefully we'll be able to get that news to you before, as I believe the deck releases in the second or third week of July.
In July, yes. So, with all this very exciting news, we, unfortunately, are out of time today. So, from all of us here at TCG News, thank you, we love you, and have a wonderful day.